Today's workshop is about sight words. Sight words are the magical words. They are the beginner's great helper. They are the magical tool for the teacher to teach students how to read. What are sight words? Sight words are common words that schools expect kids to recognize instantly. Words like he, she, it, and appear so often that beginning readers reach the point where they no longer need to try to sound out these words. They recognize them by sight. So once the kid sees the word, he recognizes it quickly and instantly, and he became able to read, and this enables him to be a perfect reader. There are sight words for every grade, and each grade depends on the other grade. So, while applying the new list, teachers have to make sure that their students get acquainted with the previous one, and they have to revise them every now and then to make sure that their students get acquainted with the sight word and recognize it by sight quickly and instantly. As a teacher, how to start with beginners? First, you have to teach them letters, and after teaching letters, you have to teach them the sounds of letters. Via teaching phonemes, the students get acquainted with the word quickly and they can read it easier later. After this stage, you have to cover CVC words and help students to blend them and segment them every now and then. The last stage before being a perfect reader and to start to read the whole sentence, students have to know the sight words each grade after the other grade, and make sure quite well that the students get acquainted with them clearly and easily, instantly by sight. As I told before, sight words are the magical tool for the teacher to teach his students how to be perfect reader. But why sight words? Believe it or not, sight words represent about 75% of the beginner's branded materials. They promote confidence for the child. They also help the beginners to identify and decode the meaning of simple sentences quickly. While reading, and students get acquainted with the most common words in the sentence like I, he, she, the, easily and quickly. This helps him to read the whole sentence. This also gives him a kind of secure while reading the sentence. So they are so magical in teaching students reading at the very beginning. They also help to get acquainted and to decode the meaning of the whole sentence. As teacher, I'm asking myself questions. How can I teach sight words inside the class? What are the strategies of teaching sight words? Can I keep students to repeat every now and then, or there are strategies? Yeah, there are strategies. Strategy number 1, reading aloud. The teacher asks students to read them aloud every now and then to help them to inculcate the words inside their minds. Writing a story is a very helpful strategy for teaching a sight word. I can make a story for example, the word like. Sarah likes fishing. She likes going to fish, and repeat the word like every now and then in a story, and then ask a student to guess what is our sight word is. Playing a game also is a skillful way of teaching sight word, and so helpful for the teacher. I'm going to supply you with some games and creative worksheets for teaching sight words. Also, creative worksheets are helpful, and there are many ways, and I'm going to tell you where to find these worksheets and so on. How the story of sight words started? It started with Dolch. Who is Dolch? He is Edward William Dolch, the proponent of the whole word method of beginning reading instructions and strategies. His list was first published in a journal in 1936, and then he published a book in 1948. And later I'm going to tell you where to find Dolch lists and where to print them. This is an example of Dolch sight words list, and actually the teacher has to print this list and give his students and teach his students one after another. It's the practical part that I do like so much. Look here for activity number 1. It's a chart. This chart can be put before the students to help them to recognize the sight words and help them to identify it easily and quickly. to its sight word note. A teacher can print a simple note like this and ask students to identify the given sight word. Suppose I'm teaching my students like they have to color like, they have to repeat like, and they have to recite like by heart or by song or by tapping like this. L-I-K-E, like. L-I-K-E, like, and so on. It is so beneficial for teachers. Guiding activity number 4 is fishing for sight word. The teacher can bring a fishing rod and ask a student to fish from, fish the word to, fish the word the. It's an amazing and helpful in the classroom. The other activity is with blending and segmenting the sight word. It's so important to help students to identify the word. Activity number 5, it's clear. It's sight word group and blending and segmenting. But number 7 is somehow different. It's about hop and stop. I name it like this. The student hop and read the word, and then I ask him to stop on a certain word, like Bart, like came, stop, and then ask him to put a sentence and form a sentence using the sight word he stops on. Activity number 6, it's a sight word 6. The teacher asks the student to point to the, then he asks him to tap the word the, T-H-E the, or recite the word by heart. It's so easy. It's can be easily prepared by the teacher himself. Activity that the student likes so much, it's hop and stop game. The student has to hop and read the set word he hops on, and when he stops, the teacher asks him or punish him to put the word in a sentence or any other punishment, funny punishment. It's an amazing game. Number 8, it can be put on a chart before the students. It's amazing. It's a visual aid. Okay, it's so helpful to help students to recognize the sight words whenever they see them. Number 9, the teacher can employ the sight word in a sentence and ask students to go on blending and segmenting, even tracing the same sight word. It's so amazing. It's a sight word code. Here the teacher put the sight word and ask student to color it and then write it down. If the student is talented, ask the student to put the same sight word in a sentence. Goodbye and see you on other workshops. And I hope that my workshop is so beneficial to you. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. You can find all these activities on Pinterest. It's an amazing tool and helpful tool for the teacher. You can find many activities on this app. You just search for sight word activities or sight word creative activities or any other activities. أتمنى تتابعوني على التليجرام وعلى قناة اليوتيوب علشان مع بعض نتشارك كل جديد. Goodbye.